The fork slipped from my hand when I heard him. My husband, my once gentle, laughing man, snapped at my mother across the table. "Why don't you get up and cook something for everyone? You've been sitting long enough." The words hung like poison in the air. My mother froze, her cheeks flushing. And then the laughter came, his mother's sharp, dry chuckle. "Women like her belong in the kitchen, not at the table," she crooned, savoring her cruelty. His sister leaned in, whispering just loud enough for me to hear, "She's nothing but a servant." And in that moment, the world went silent for me. I didn't speak, I didn't cry, because this wasn't the moment of my breaking, this was the moment of their undoing. I wasn't always this cold. There was a time I believed in him. We met in a library, of all places. He asked what I was reading, smiled like he actually cared, and listened as though my voice was music. He carried my books, held doors open, called me his queen. For years I trusted the warmth. I mistook his confidence for strength, his ambition for drive. I thought his family's sharp edges could be softened by my kindness. I believed love was enough to tame arrogance. I was wrong. The first signs came quietly, a dismissive gesture when I spoke, a laugh when I expressed an opinion. Then the late nights, the silenced phone calls, the way his mother's voice lingered in his ear after every conversation. And then I found it, the message on his phone. Not from another woman, from his mother. "She'll never be more than a servant, don't forget that. Keep her in line." He didn't argue, he didn't defend me. He replied with a single word that ended our marriage in my mind: always. I didn't scream, I didn't confront him, I smiled. And while they laughed at me behind closed doors, I began to build my plan. First, the finances. He never noticed the slow withdrawal of my presence from our joint accounts because I replaced it with silence and obedience. I let him believe I was small. He didn't see me meeting with lawyers, didn't notice the accounts I opened in my name, the documents I secured. Second, the house. I knew the deed was in both our names, but he forgot the loans were under his alone. When the time came, I'd make sure the weight crushed only him. And third, the family. His sister thought her whispers were secrets. His mother thought her poison was law. I made sure to gather every message, every cruel remark, every little barb. Proof, not just of words, but of character. I became invisible, silent, harmless, and in my silence, I sharpened the blade. Which brings us back to that dinner table, the moment they revealed themselves fully, bare and arrogant. His bark, his mother's laughter, his sister's whisper, and then the voice from the doorway. It wasn't mine, it was my brother's, a man they had underestimated, dismissed, ignored. He filled the frame of the door, his presence a shadow that silenced every cruel tongue. "Who dares insult my family?" His voice thundered through the room. The fork clattered from his mother's hand. His sister paled. My husband tried to laugh it off, but the sound died in his throat. I watched them shrink. For once, they were small. But my brother wasn't the only card I'd played. I had timed this dinner carefully. I had invited everyone, friends, neighbors, colleagues, witnesses. I wanted the truth to rot in the open air. "Sit down," I told my brother calmly. "This won't take long." I pulled out the folder I had kept hidden for months. Bank statements, messages, letters, copies of deeds. Every ugly word they had spoken, every betrayal recorded. I laid them out like a feast of sins. Gasps filled the room as the evidence spoke for itself. The whispers of the sister, printed in black and white. The mother's instructions dripping venom. And his reply, always. The silence was suffocating. My husband stammered, You set me up." I looked at him, steady and unshaken. "No, You set yourself up. I just let you." The unraveling was swift. The neighbors left first, shaking their heads. Friends followed, disgust curling their lips. His colleagues, men he bragged to about his perfect family, walked out one by one. His empire of respect crumbled in a single evening. And when the door finally shut behind the last guest, I delivered the final blow. "I filed the papers weeks ago," I told him. "The house, the accounts, the reputation, you've already lost them. Tonight was just for me, for my mother, for every time you made me small." His mother hissed, but I didn't even glance her way. His sister muttered, but I heard nothing. All I saw was his face, shattered, furious, and powerless. That night, I left the table untouched. I took my mother's hand, my brother by my side, and I walked out of the house that no longer belonged to me, but would soon no longer belong to him either.